Plan B with Serena Bellissimo. The biggest stars, gossip, events, and the biggest tunes. Plan B, your weekend fix.
TV is amazing at the moment. There's lots of fabulous dramas, thrillers, cop shows. But the one thing I'm really missing is a great comedy series, and I'm happy to say that's all about to change with Netflix's new series, The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I'm thrilled to say that the show's star, Ali Kemper, joins us on the line now. Ali, welcome to Plan B.
Thank you so much for having me.
And congratulations on The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and on not having to audition for the role. And not only that, but having it specifically written for you.
Oh, that was incredible. That's an enormous compliment. I actually was unaware of that until a few months ago when Tina said that. But yeah, Tina Fey and Robert Carlock were creating a show, and I had met with them just casually, just sort of to get to know them. And then a few months later, they came to me with this idea, which was just extraordinary. And now the rest is history.
It's got to be amazing, though, because as an actress, you're so used to going out there and auditioning and, getting knockbacks. So when Tina Fey comes to you and says, Ali, I have the perfect part for you, what do you do?
Oh, well, you scream to yourself with joy. And then, it's just an enormous vote of confidence. I adore her. I admire her. She's a cultural icon. I think that having her interest in creating something for you makes you feel like, oh, well, I must be able to do this. And so then even if you might not feel like you can do it, you tell yourself that you can. And that's sort of what I did. And that was very cool.
And Ellie, it looks like so much fun. Tell me what's going on.
It is so much fun. Kimmy is, she's been kept underground in a bunker for 15 years, which might not seem like, the bones of a comedy, but it does, I promise you, it is comedy. And when we meet her, she's being rescued by the FBI. The other ladies with whom she was trapped underground decide to return to Indiana, but Kimmy decides to stay in New York City and make a new life for herself. And so it really is, a story of starting over, but it is maybe with a more extreme set of circumstances than we might be used to in other television stories.
I love fish out of water stories because that's where some of the best comedy comes from. And doesn't it sometimes feel like in life that you are a fish out of water?
Oh, 100%. And even, I obviously, thankfully, was not, kept underground for 15 years, but I did move from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm not comparing St. Louis to a bunker, but moving to New York can be jarring, and it's just like anyone, moving from a place that you were as a child to making that transition to being an adult is jarring and wonderful and scary.
What's been the scariest moment from you? As you said, you've come from Missouri, you land in LA. How scary was that for you?
It was very scary just in terms of not knowing what you're doing. And so there's no exact path. So it's not like you can say, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'll be, checking this off the list, and the next thing. You really just have to sort of make your own way. So any success that comes along the way is just an enormous triumph. And I think going on The Office, that was my, big break. And I was just so nervous because the show had already been on for 5 seasons, and I just wanted to be careful not to mess anything up. They had a good thing going, and so I, was the new girl, and I just thought, do your job, be quiet, don't derail the train, and you'll be fine.
So you go from The Office, then you go to Bridesmaids. One of my all-time favourite movies, and I have to say, even thinking about that scene, I start laughing. That scene where everybody's trying on the bridesmaids' clothes.
Oh, my God, thank you. Thank you. I mean, really, no, that movie, I'm not saying this because I'm in it. I'm saying this as a, I think it was different from anything, that we've been seeing for the past few years.
Yeah.
Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, all of those ladies are just sincerely funny women. And so to see them all together, it's just an honor to be a part of that.
They're all comedies, right? But how different is it working on Bridesmaids and the US Office to working on The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and being the lead? Any pressure?
Yeah, well, there's a little added pressure just because it's a bigger job and it's a bigger role than I've ever played before. So there's that increased, workload and responsibility. But, in terms of the actual work that's being done, it does feel like an ensemble piece. And so, of course, Bridesmaids is an ensemble piece and The Office was a total ensemble. And I think that is where, any pressure is sort of alleviated because you're working with Carol Kane and Jane Krakowski and Titus Burgess, and Tina and Robert are at the helm, and you feel like, oh, okay, well, this isn't really on my shoulders. This is, a group effort.
You've always worked with talented people. Let's go all the way back to school. Was John Hamm really your acting teacher?
He was. Is
Get
that
out.
insane? I know. No, I'm waiting for something terrible to happen to me because that was so lucky. He went to my high school. He's 10 years older than I am.
In Missouri?
Went to my high school. In Missouri, yeah. He went to our school, went to college, and then he came back and taught theater for a year. And I happened to be one of his students. So that's just incredible. And he has remained the kindest. I was just saying this the other day. He's sort of like an uncle. Like people from our high school will go out to Los Angeles to try and pursue acting or, whatever, something in show business. And he is so helpful and available, and I feel like everyone just looks up to him and adores him because he's just such a kind person.
Well, I have to ask you, Ellie, because I know when I bump into my old high school teachers, they insist that I call them by their first name, but I can't. So when you saw him, was it like, hi, Mr. Hamm? Or were you calling him John?
I think I avoided saying his name completely, just because I didn't want that. I was just, hi! And like every time I've seen him since then, it's like, hello! Like I just don't say his name. Because I'm with you. You don't know how to address him.
And finally, Ellie, I cannot wait for this series to land on Netflix. And I'm already excited. I went on to IMDb. I see 2016, there's going to be another series. Is that true?
We are. This was absolutely part of the best news when we moved to Netflix was that they ordered a second season of the show. So, everyone was elated to know that they had a job, for another year at least. And and I don't know when we'll start shooting that, but yeah, there will definitely be a second season.
Can't wait to see it. Ellie Kemper, thank you so much for spending time with us.
It was a total pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Plan B with Serena Bellissimo. Your weekend fix.
Number one for music and entertainment.
Spin 103.8.